This is the typical financial situation for most Americans today, or even worse. And I know most of y'all are working, just to survive, or working 2 or 3 jobs. And I know it's hard, man, because I was there and I had the same problem until I left America. I remember checking my bank account after working like 60 hours one week at a really good job, and realizing like something is wrong, something's got to change, and I left. That was nearly 20 years ago, and I'm still here in Asia. I don't know. It's just the American dream seems dead to me, and it's like there's like an illusion of freedom. You work harder and you buy more stuff, and you're still broke. But they give you like the illusion of freedom by letting you, buy this stuff. Like it's kind of like slavery in a way. Back in the days, I know. I wasn't there, but saying like during the slave days, of course, they make you work. You get a roof over your head and get some food. And it's basically what's happening now. You work to earn enough money to put a roof over your head and to buy your food. And, you buy a few things though, you get to have freedom to buy some things like a phone or, this kind of thing. But it's still slavery. And then with the debt culture, everybody's in debt, car loans and credit cards and mortgages, or even rent is like really expensive. And you have inflation, the wages don't seem to go up. And then there's like a psychological trap, like social pressure, because like everybody's driving around in these cars that they have debt for and stuff like that. And you drive around in a crappy car and people will think, oh, this poor people, they think you're poor or something like that. You have these social pressures of looking a certain way. And I've been there, and my life really changed when I moved abroad. And now I'm not saying moving abroad is the cure for everything, but it is what helped me. Like, how do I say? Like the moment I realized the system was broken, right, is I've been working since I was a kid, like 13 years old, washing dishes in restaurants and stuff. And I made money, I spent money, and then my money was gone. And then my next paycheck came, same thing happened, And then as I started getting older and earning more money and working better jobs and all these other things, the same thing was happening. My money was still gone. And then eventually I had a really good job, making a lot of money. I was actually doing construction work. I was a carpenter in the union and, making like $32 an hour or something like that. This was 20 years ago. So it was pretty good money back then, making $1,000, $1,500 a week in a small place like Kentucky. 20 years ago, it was good money. And but even then, the money was gone. It just disappeared. And, I think breaking the cycle, like for me, was moving abroad, but not just moving abroad. It was moving abroad that changed my mindset, because I experienced how other people live. When I first moved abroad, I tried to bring my life with me, like my old life in America. I brought it with me culturally, and it wasn't working here. And I changed my ways and adapted to the life here after a few years. And then once I did that, money started piling up in my bank account. And it was a lot to do with the shift of mindset. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, even though you're in America and you're struggling and doing all these things, you can still change your life even there without having to move abroad. It's just about shifting your mindset. But it is really hard to shift your mindset when you're surrounded by all these people that have the same mindset. And that's how it was easy for me to change after I moved abroad, because I was surrounded by people who had a different mindset than me, and I slowly adapted towards their way, their cultural norms. And those things really helped me change my mindset about how I view money and how I use money and things like that. And all those things really played a big part in my financial success. I'm not saying I'm like rich, super rich and like that. I'm like a multimillionaire, but I mean, I'm 43 years old and I don't need to work again if I don't want to. I can, not work, and because I have enough money into investments and things like that, I've managed to figure all that stuff out. But that was all because of living abroad and changing my mindset and the way I think about money. And so I guess I'm just trying to say, if you guys are, really looking to improve your life, it starts with the mindset, but it's going to be hard unless you, surround yourself with people who have that same mindset that you're trying to go for. And it's really hard to do that in America. And so moving abroad for me was the solution, not because moving abroad is the solution, but because it surrounded me with people that I needed to be around. And yeah, I guess that's really all I got to say. I just want to let you guys know that, I know you're struggling. I know it's hard there in America right now. Everybody's talking about it. And leaving might be the answer. And or it might help you at least change your mindset if you leave for a short amount of time, a couple of years, and get adapted to a new mindset and a new way of thinking about money. And then after that, then maybe you can go back home and things will work out for you, because America still is a land of opportunity. And there's, lots of ways to make a lot of money there and have a nice life. But you got to start with the mindset shift first. And that may require moving abroad like I did. The thing is, when I moved abroad, I'm still here living in Asia, but after I stayed here for so long and adapted to the culture, I don't even want to go back home. So there's that. But some people do come here and they set themselves up for a great life and they do go back home. I have lots of friends who did it. And I just happened to be one of the people who decided to stay. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Got lots of links and stuff down there. Check all that stuff out. And also have my book down there if you want to see about my life, how I went from chaos and pain and a bunch of stuff in my life to overcoming all that stuff and overcoming depression and finding peace of mind here abroad. That's down below too. Check all that stuff out. Free Discord community. We come in there and talk about investing and living abroad. And I'll see you guys next time.